What is going on, Savages? I was totally working on some totally different content. I wasn't going to even do anything about mining or anything like that tonight. I was working on a totally different thing, and I just kind of ran out of time. So I figured instead of not doing any content at all or not streaming at all, I would just throw up something. We've covered how to mine Aeon before. There's some things changing. Not so much on the mining side, but that's actually the content that I was working on. It has to do with some new developments in the Aeon system, ecosystem, or platform, whatever you want to call it. And that's what I was actually working on, but there's a lot to it, and I wanted to do a pretty decent video on it. So I'm going to push that off until tomorrow so I can work on it a little bit more as far as like the content, what I'm going to talk about. And or what we will be talking about. So tonight, I figured I would just go through real quick. I think it was Monday. I did the Miner Monday tweet about Aeon. It's kind of like the Aeon edition. So I kind of wanted to do Aeon this week. I knew this the OAN thing was coming up as far as that's their new network, I guess you could call it. But we're going to talk about that tomorrow. I'm just going to do something pretty basic, go back to the way we used to do things with how to mine certain projects. So that's what we're going to look at tonight. So let's get into it. So if you haven't already, if you're new here, be sure to subscribe to my channel. It's important. The number of subscribers means something. I don't know what yet, but it means something. No, I'm just kidding. I don't have a lot of subscribers really, but that's okay with me because I like a smaller community, tighter knit group of folks. But also follow me on Twitter as well, because over here I do keep you updated with what's going on the channel. You kind of saw that tonight. I know I didn't give a lot of warning, but I actually started. I was going to do it at 9:30, and I just kind of ran over with what I was going to look at, so I changed it to 9:40. Anyway, I took a little 10-minute extension on you there. What's going up, YouTube Watcher and Yashnik and Red Panda and Fold'em? Thanks for tuning in, guys. Yeah, so that's what we'll look at tonight. I think what I'll do is we'll just go back to the old way of doing things and just go through the spreadsheet and go through it. So that way I can because I kind of like doing a project for a week, right? So I did the tweet on Monday about Aeon Miner Monday, and then I was going to do some other stuff. I'm going to be really honest. I've been kind of down, plus I've been busy, plus a little burnout. There's just a lot going on, so it's been tough for me to keep hitting play or go live every night. It's rough, it's not the easiest thing in the world to do. So just bear with me while I'm in this little slump, and I will hopefully get out of it soon. Just been in a funk lately, so all right. Let's just go through. Let's see, I guess I could go over here to their website. This is what the Aeon website looks like now. It's updated, and this is what I'm going to talk about more tomorrow. And I might even bleed that over into Fireball Friday also. And we'll probably just talk about Aeon the rest of the week, because there really is enough to talk about. So it's not going to be short on content at all. There's a lot going on, so which I like to see. But this is their new Aeon website. This is specifically with Aeon. You can see up here, actually you can't see it, but this is their new website for the Aeon digital asset, which is part of the OAN, or the Open Application Network. So yeah, you know what, Yashnik, you're right. I got into it. I'm looking at it a little bit more, a little bit deeper again. I have some things to say about it, but I did watch an interview between Matt Spoke and Blockchain Brad today. And what was funny in that interview is that the things that Matt was saying, if you haven't seen it, you got to watch it, because about, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes in, 10 minutes in, he starts talking about some things that I felt like I didn't know how to put it into words, what I was feeling about the Aeon project. Although I have alluded to things in the past, even in videos, even in live streams, I even made these comments that now I look back and I go, oh, that's what I was trying to say, or that's what I was thinking. But if you listen to that interview, he talks about it about 5 or 10 minutes in, about my specific issue. It's not even an issue. It's just how I was feeling about the Aeon project overall, right? So, I mean, I still, look, I love Aeon. You guys know I love Aeon. And look, here, let me prove I love Aeon. Okay, so here, there. I'm still mining Aeon, you know. Yeah, and I might be saying it wrong. There was someone else, who was it? Cursed Mining, I think, was saying that it's Aeon. Let me know how to actually say this, because I've been saying Aeon, and I hear everybody saying Aeon. It's probably going to be one of those regional things, but anyway, I don't want to think that it's Aeon, but whatever. I couldn't imagine that I was saying it wrong the whole time. All right, but you never know how that goes. What's up, Shuby? Thanks for tuning in, man. I'm just yapping about Aeon right now, but anyway, so watch that video, Blockchain Brad and Matt Spoke interview, and he basically echoes some of my concerns over Aeon, and it looks like things are getting back on the right track, which is super cool. I'm digging that. Yeah, so this is their new website. I have not poked around on here a lot. I would assume that maybe some of the mining info. Okay, so that was the first time I've ever clicked on that. So it looks like this is where they put the mining stuff. Talking about Unity in here. Let me see here. See if I can find the. This is not mining. Okay, so Yashnik, if you can point me to the mining section here. Yeah, I don't see it. All right, we'll have to. What's up, Crypto Z? So see, this is funny. You know, there for a while, Crypto Z and Yashnik were always tuning in to my live streams, and then they stopped. But then I just mentioned Aeon, and all of a sudden, boom, they're just back, right? Yeah, okay. I see how y'all are. All right. So anyway, I don't know where. I'm just kidding around. I don't know where the mining info is here. Let's see. And how do I get back to? Yeah, this is part of my problem here. I don't like the way this operates. There needs to be a way of getting back without hitting the back button, in my opinion. But anyway, okay. So going into Docs, that takes you into Docs up here. You can't really see it, but it's a different website. But I don't know where the mining part is, so I don't know if maybe I can just search for it. No. Yashnik, I don't know what we're talking about here. Oh. All right. Anyway, I'm not really. I easily get distracted by the chat, so I'm just gonna press on here. Y'all talk about whatever you want. Okay. So I don't know about the mining part here, whether or not it is somewhere in here. Okay, it talks about where you can mine, and of course we're gonna go to Aeon Pool. I already had that up, but as far as guides to mining, I don't know where that's at now. It used to be hanging off of their docs. I thought it was in docs before, but I don't know. So anyway, not a big deal. we can definitely figure it out. So let's get to it. All right, let's go back over here. Coin name Aeon, ticker Aeon. I'm gonna say Aeon even if that's wrong. Algorithm is Equihash 2109, and that is going to remain the algorithm even after they implement Unity, which is the hybrid proof of work, proof of stake algorithm, or consensus mechanism, I'm sorry. So that's going to remain 2109 from what I understand. So let's do a review and figure out what all the block times and all that stuff are, because I'll be honest with you, I don't remember. All right, so it looks like right now the block, and this is on what to mine. So if you go to what to mine and go to coins up here, let's go ahead and search for Aeon. And they've already updated their logo and all that stuff. That's cool. All right, but before we do that, let's go ahead and look at some Aeon. Equihash is kind of geared more towards, or it does better, it's more efficient on NVIDIA GPUs. So this is this rig, the Kessel rig. We'll do a calculate and we'll see where we're at with Aeon down here. See where it falls on the profitability. It's a ways down there, not too bad though. 21 cents a day on this rig, which is just awful. But we've had many discussions about this in the past, and over the past few months, I don't know, almost a year now, I guess, that it's been on steady decline. I actually tweeted something about this the other day. I think, I'm not going to go to that, but I don't remember exactly what I said, but it was something along the lines of how everything is basically an S curve, and we're in what appears to be a very deep part of a curve, a cycle of profitability with regards to mining. I'm still of the mindset that I don't think that it's going to take a lot to get back to a real profitable status. I don't think that it's ever gone the way that it did I haven't been in the space that long, but just from what I know from history and looking back, I don't think it's done what it did this last time before, as far as going from somewhat profitable, $10 per rig basically, depending on what you're mining, of course, but you could easily get $10 for a 6 GPU rig a day, and it's gone all the way down to less than $1. So that's rough. Anyway, I know I'm getting off topic here, but so we saw where Aeon landed up down here, still a little bit profitable. And it looks like with this GPU rig, or this rig here, we should get about 26 or 27 Aeon a day. And I can actually go and kind of look into that. Do this. So I'm mining to my desktop wallet here, and I'm just going to log into it. No, you can't see it, but here we go. All right, so this is my mining wallet right here, and I think if we go to, I'm not a big fan of this wallet. I think I've stated that before. It's okay, but it's not. I'm not a huge fan of it. Let's see here. Receive. No, I think it's history. Okay. Yeah. See, I had to click on history twice. I don't know. Maybe it takes a second to populate or what, but. So you can see right here, so 11/6, this is today. So it looks like what it does, let's see, how does this work? Yeah, okay, so I'm getting one every hour or so, because I am mining on your pool there, Yashnik and CryptoZ, so it should be, I guess the payout is 1. That's what it looks like, 1 every hour or so. So that comes out to about right. I mean, with this little older rig, with the two 1070s, two 1070 Ti's, and two 1080s, it says down here that I should be getting 26 or 27 a day, and that works out about right because it looks like I'm getting about 1 an hour. So there you go. All right, cool. Good to see that is working. All right. All right, so let's go back to coins, Aeon. All right, so block time is right now, it looks like it's 10.4 seconds. Not a big deal. Again, I mean, I know I say this every time we go into this, but 10 seconds. The grayed out values here, or lines, or rows here, are not necessarily that important to mining. The other stuff is, I mean, you kind of have to know what you're mining and what the algorithm is. It's just good to know information, just for your reference whenever you're going through this. So, all right, so the block rewards are 1.51 right now, and based on a little bit of you know, what I've been researching here about the way Unity is going to work and all that, I think that with OAN also, which we'll talk about more about that tomorrow night, I believe that the block rewards are probably going to increase a little bit, at least fingers crossed, I'm hoping. I think that'll be actually a good thing. If it does, obviously for miners and stakers at that point, once Unity is implemented. So let's go with pool and port. We're going to use Aeon pool.tech. They've already updated their logo. They're on top of things over there on this pool. Honestly, I don't know why you would choose any other pool, and that's not just me because I like Yashnik and CryptoZ and ICU2 and those guys, but it's just clearly the best pool, right? Let's go and check out mining pool stats. It's been a while since I've been over here to see what is going on with where they rank or whatever, however you want to say it. Probably going to be at the top. Yeah, they are. Okay, cool. Still at the top. Still kind of, yeah, pretty decent distribution. I mean, two pools own most of it, I guess, but 215 miners. Yashnik, is that accurate? About 215? All right. So if we go over here to aeonpool.tech and we click on connect, then what we're going to see is we're going to see Stratum servers here, which is what we're basically looking for, right? Pool and the port, because you have to have that if you're going to mine to a pool and share your hash rate with other users and try to accumulate more rewards that way, solve more blocks and all that stuff. So we're going to choose cluster.aeonpool.tech, and this is a failover. So if you use this URL here, what happens if it loses connectivity? If you lose connectivity, then it will transition or transfer you over to the closest next working server. So this is an auto select. It basically selects the closest one to you and then fails over in the case of failure. At least I think that's the way that works. It's not just that it connects to the closest one, but I think it also goes to the next one. As your primary strand, please add all remaining. Oh, okay, so it doesn't work that way. My bad. You have to add the other ones as the backup. Okay, so I don't know if I don't even have that. I just have cluster in there. I think that's all I have in mine. Anyway, we'll get to that. I'll let Yashnik talk about that, I guess, if he wants to. All right, so we'll go here, and then I have 6 GPUs in this rig, so I'll use 3333 as the port to start off. Variable difficulty there. I'm going to put 3333 over there. And then the receiving address, you guys kind of saw that a minute ago. I'll just use the mining address here. Copy that. And you can actually use the Coinomi wallet to Mine 2 as well. I believe Yashnik, or I'm sorry, I believe Red Panda does that. I don't know if he mines Aeon to his Coinomi wallet, but you can do that as well. Coinomi works pretty well to Mine 2, which is kind of neat. All right, so let's go to CoinMarketCap. Let's gather some more info here. Thought I did that right, maybe not. Ooh, what is my computer doing? It's just spinning. It's spinning. All right, so down a little bit today, not a big deal. Still, I mean, I want to say they dipped down into the 6 cents range for a minute, for a short while, somewhere over here. Yeah, right around in here. So right there on October 18th would have been a great buy. All right, so that's really low, 6 cents. All right, so there's hanging around. They did go up here. I don't know, looked like some volume dropped off here. They've been bouncing around a little bit here, but creeping up. They were up above 9 cents and going kind of headed towards 10 there for a minute, and then they kind of came back down. But we don't worry so much with Aeon anyway. I mean, obviously, if you are mining it, you want it to do well, and if you're, you know, trading it, you want it to do well. But it's kind of you got to kind of look at, with Aeon, in my opinion, you kind of got to look at the bigger picture, because there's way more to it. And I think that probably what's going to end up on the other end, it might be a ways away, you know, before you'll start seeing it. But I really feel like with what's going on in the project, there's not much stopping it from a token value increase, right? Because of how the token is used on the network. And again, I'm going to talk more about that tomorrow, because again, I'm just kind of prepping the content, you know, so I'm just kind of researching and figuring stuff, trying to figure stuff out. So we'll talk about that more tomorrow, but it looks like right now they are at 8 cents, almost 9 cents. So we'll plug that in here. Again, this is just good to know information, not a big deal. Market cap, 32 million. I think that's considered, I don't know. Is that a mid cap? I don't know. I don't know what the values are, but I know 32 million is a lot, but I don't think that it's you know, way up there. And then the volume is 1.1 million. All right, max supply. I don't think that there is a max supply really, right? Circulating supply is what's important right now. We'll just say circulating. All right, CoinMarketCap rank is 117. They have been lower, way lower than that. I don't know what their lowest was, but I know that they were under 100 for quite some time. Man, I want to say that they got down in the 60s, maybe even lower than that. So hopefully they get back there. Is it 114? I think I could actually look. We could look back through the older videos, Aeon videos, to see what that was, what that rank was, because it would be in those videos. So let's see what else we got here. Put to mine in CoinCalc. I think that I just use that as a link. Just plug the link in here. The Bitcoin Talk announcement, which I don't think that there's much going on over here, because there's not much of a reason for there to be too much going on over here anymore. I never go on the right one, but I think this is the right one actually. Yeah, I don't know if this is the right one or not, but it doesn't matter. Again, you know, it's a project that has, they initially were putting stuff over here, but they've kind of grown out of it, I guess. I don't know, so I'm not too worried about that. Announcement date, I think it was, man, mid 2017, I think. Doesn't matter. We'll bypass that part. Let's see if they've updated their website over here. Hey, they did. All right, cool. So the new website, if you go to Aeon.network, they have a, I think it's called a 301 redirect, a permanent redirect to the OAN.com. So Aeon.network, if you try to go to Aeon.network, it just immediately takes you to the OAN.com. And I don't know about, again, I don't know about the mining help website. I think, I want to say that there's some help over here on, I mean, obviously there's connect here, and yeah, that might be it. I mean, there's some information down here from aeonpool.tech, so this can definitely help you. So I'm going to use that as the mining help page. Makes a lot of sense. And then for the miners, for AMD, you would use probably still LOL miner. I haven't investigated too much into that. And on the NVIDIA, because AMD is just not great at Equihash. It's just not. I can't remember if is it because it's got to do with memory versus CPU type computations. I'm going to forget which way it goes, but anyway, I think NVIDIA because of the memory, so it's better with Gminer, and we'll get into the miner options and all that stuff. All right, so we'll do this in HiveOS, I guess, since I'm already in HiveOS, and I don't have a NVIDIA rig on simple mining, so I'm not going to mess with that. We'll just go over here to HiveOS, and I'm already mining Aeon, so this is going to be kind of silly, but we'll still go through the whole process. So the first thing you would do is go to wallets, and you would do a add wallet. Type in Aeon. They need to, obviously they need to update their little logo here, in here, not Aeon, but HiveOS does. And we're going to grab our mining address. Always choose paste as plain text in there so that it doesn't get any crazy in there. And then always look at it to make sure there's no spaces or anything nuts in there. So then we give it a name of Aeon YouTube. And then I think you could, still don't know what all this, I know that this is for like getting the prices and stuff, but right here it says choose exchange, wallet type, or describe somehow. So I don't know, wallet type. So it must just be another location. Like, let's see if they have, what all they got on here. So they got Coinbase. I was looking for Coinomi, but that's not on here. But it looks like these look like all exchanges, I think. But anyway, so yeah, they got some other features in here. Save as global wallets for like a whole farm, available to all farms, and then you can get the balance from the exchange, but it's only supported on a few blockchains, so this isn't one of them. All right, so we're going to go with create. So now we have a new Aeon wallet, probably at the bottom down here. Yep. All right, it's got the same address, and that's fine. So we're gonna go to flight sheets. Type in Aeon for the coin. The wallet, we'll use the YouTube wallet. The pool, we're going to use Aeon pool. This is aeonpool.tech, the one that we're dealing with. You can kind of see that right here. We're going to use 3+ GPU rigs cluster. That's actually the address that we had selected over here whenever we were doing our initial research. So that worked out pretty well. It is the same thing. And what's cool about this is using that pre-configured pool, then whenever we select the down arrow on the miner, it's going to choose some of them for us, and the ones that we choose from that list, if we choose from that list and don't choose, show all, if we choose one of these, then most of our settings are going to be pre-filled, so it's super nice. So we're going to use Gminer, and then click on Setup Miner Config, and this is what I was talking about. See how it's pretty much filled out for you already? It's even got the personalization string, which is nice because this is when it comes to Equihash, this is probably one of the more difficult parameters to acquire for a project unless you just already know what it is. Like, you wouldn't guess that their personalization string would be Aeon 0 POW, right? Proof of work. You know, there's all kinds of different ones for different projects. But I guess that it can't be a dash. Like, you couldn't put a dash in there for the 0, so they had to put something in there, and it's got to be 8 characters. So that's why it's like this. And it is case sensitive, so you can't use, you couldn't do this, right? Because that's going to be something different. That's probably going to fail. All right. So you have to have it like that, and everything else looks good. And these are just variables that are pulling from your settings that you already have in there, because we chose a pool that was already included in HiveOS. So that's how we're able to use that variable, the URL host. Otherwise, we would have to put this in there manually. And you can put it in there manually. Like, let's say you wanted to use, I mean, I don't know why you would, but if you wanted to do it manually, you could. You do it like this. But instead, it's, you know, the way we had it set up, it's going to use those variables. So, all right, there was another example of another personalization string for Bitcoin Gold, it looks like. So just an example, but that's important for Equihash algorithms. So I'm going to cancel that real quick and just let it put the variables back in there. All right, and everything else looks good. So we're going to apply changes. We're going to use the latest version, fine with me. And then we're going to give it a name of Aeon_YouTube. And then create flight sheet. Yeah, I need to clean this up. I got too many flight sheets in there. All right, so then we're going to go back to workers. And it's not going to be much of a change because I'm already mining Aeon, but we will go ahead and assign that flight sheet to the rig. So we're going to choose Aeon here. And we know that the one that we just created is Aeon_YouTube, so we'll choose that one. And then apply. And then you'll see the rig. I'll do a refresh here to go offline for a second, maybe. Maybe not. Might just not be enough of a change. Let's see here. Yeah, there it goes. Okay, I just heard it. Alright, so it's just reloading the miner. Should come back up pretty quick. Yep, it's already back. If we go into here, if you're concerned, or not concerned, but if you're wondering about overclock settings, things like that, you can come in here or you can pause it here and look at those. for the 1070 Ti's, 1080s, and 1070s. All right, and I think that I got some of these settings I talked to Yashnik about, and I think some of them I might have bounced back and forth between Yashnik and Overcooked Panda's database. So if you go to coin2mine.today, actually let's see here. So if you go to coin2mine.today, and then go to over here on the left, there's an overclocks link. So you click on that, go back to dark mode here, and then you can choose your GPU model. And this is just a basic starting point kind of for overclock settings, right? And we're talking about Equihash 2109. So then you do a search, and then you got like 1070 right here, and it says we should be at 160. And the way this works, at least I think the way this works, it actually pulls this information from HiveOS and like the database. So what it sees people, it pulls the information as miners are set up to mine this specific algorithm, and it says, okay, like this is the way I think it works anyway. So it says, all right, 8 people or 8 users are using these settings, right? So it's 160, 700, and 140. And I don't have it anywhere really close to that. So I'll just backtrack over that and say that I probably got these settings from Yashnik directly. And I might have started with these over here, but it looks like that's not really what I ended up with. And I probably played around with the numbers a little bit. I like even numbers, clearly. So that's probably why they're all, you know, one, not even exactly, but they all end in, you know, some type of, there's not like 151 or 152 or anything like that. And again, I'm not going to sit here and play with those numbers that, you know, and restart miners and all that stuff and try to squeeze out, you know, 0.2 more souls, right? It's just not worth it to me. If I was super bored on a Saturday or something like that, maybe just playing around with it to see if I could really enhance it or really make it more efficient. But at this point, I think that this rig is set up pretty sweet as far as Aeon goes, because I believe, if I remember right, I'm trying to remember where I see that at. Let's see here. What am I trying to think of here? It was, oh, I know what it is. So if you go to, let's go to the actual miner, because this is just what's in HiveOS. So if we go to remote into the actual miner, we're going to go to Hive Shell, launch Hive Shell, because I don't have a monitor or anything on this rig. So we're going to launch Hive Shell. I'm going to get right into the miner. Type in miner, and then this is what's actually happening on the rig. This is the miner running, and I think that my stats here are pretty good, but I don't see souls per watt. I don't know if that's still in here or not. There used to be a setting in here for, I think it was, I want to say it was souls per watt. Help me out here, Yashnik. Looks like maybe they don't have that in here anymore, or maybe the miner is just not set to display it, maybe. I might have been using simple mining at that time. I don't know. Anyway, but we are up and running. Everything looks good, from what I can tell here. Let's see what kind of power. It looks like it's pulling, it says 588 here. And let me bring up the, here. This is the app for the energy, what is it, energy monitoring plugs that I have. So I've got Kessel right here. That's the rig that we're messing with. Then we'll go to power there. You can see it says this is at the wall right here. So current power is 720 at the wall, and HiveOS is saying that it's 588. So what HiveOS is probably showing us is just the GPUs only, right? Not the motherboard and processor and memory and all that stuff. So all that stuff added in there. Plus I probably have just a couple of other things plugged into that, like maybe a docking station for a laptop, maybe. I don't know. I might have a couple other things plugged into it, but nothing drawing that much power. But yeah, so probably about we'll say 720 watts. So let's go to what to mine. Our hash rate for Aeon, we're going to do a quick profit calculation here. Calculation. So hash rate was 1263 souls. So let's go over here. I think you have to just type it in like that because this is hashes per second. Then power is 720 watts. My cost is 11 after taxes and fees. Block reward 1.51. We saw that earlier. That's over here. Also, these hardware costs. You could put all that in there if you wanted to really mess around with, you know, calculations and numbers. These days, I mean, you know, you're looking at on pretty much any hardware, it's years of break-even point. You know, you're not going to buy a GPU and have it pay for itself in 3 or 4 months like you used to. I think those, unless you get it for $10 or something, right? I think those days are gone for a while. So, all right, so calculate that, and it looks like a day is set up to be about 36 cents profit, which is pretty close to what we saw, I think, whenever we did the calculation earlier. So only about $10, $11 a month. Not great. Definitely not great, but you know, that's after power. So you know, electricity is so important. There's people like Red Panda that has a pretty low energy cost, which is awesome. It's a little bit easier to deal with the electric costs and stay profitable in his range of power per kilowatt hour. In my situation, it's right there on the verge of being worth it or not, you know. I mean, right now you're slightly profitable if you're mining Aeon, so you know, at 11 cents, I think you got to go all the way up to about 18 cents or 17 cents per kilowatt hour before you're not profitable anymore. But you know, in this case right here, I'm looking at how many I accumulate a day, which is about 26, right? And we kind of verified that with the wallet and the history, right? So we verified I was getting about 26 a day with this rig. So all these numbers work out. They're pretty accurate, it looks like. So you just got to weigh this and go, okay, is it worth the effort? You know, if this rig was always giving me problems and took a lot of my time troubleshooting and managing and you know, taking care of it in whatever way, and I wasn't really enjoying it anymore, then I would say that I would either need to mine something else or turn it off, right? But at this point, you know, slightly profitable. I'm looking at 26 a day. Okay, great. Maybe, you know, maybe Aeon will experience something to where they can get back up to even if it was just half of their all-time high. Okay, which is still, you know, let's be honest, that's a long shot. I hope it happens, but their all-time high was $10 and something. That was whenever it was shortly after they launched, and it was during the ICO craze and all that stuff. So, so their all-time high is about $10. So if they could get to $5, let's just say they could get to $5, all right? So then that means that on this day, if, you know, on these days that I was making 26, that I was actually making $130 a day mining, right? Which would be super nice. But that's why you have to just kind of keep all this stuff in mind and look at it long term, right? Again, as long as you're not mining at a loss, because if you're mining at a loss, if you're really mining at a loss, at some point it would make more sense to just buy the crypto, right? If you're really interested in Aeon, if you really want to invest in Aeon, right? Then at some point, if this number was like negative, like let's say you were spending all of, well, not even all, let's say it was costing you $5 a day to run the rig, then that would make more, it would make way more sense to just take the $5 or $150 a month and buy the crypto, right? Buy Aeon on an exchange. It would just make more sense. But in this given scenario right here, I am okay because I'm not technically losing money, right? It's the same thing as though I was buying 26 a day, 26 Aeon a day, right? So another really cool thing, I think iMine Blocks, he tweeted back at me, or he replied to one of my tweets, that, you know, it's basically mining is like a really great way of dollar cost averaging, and that is so true, right? Because it's like just a constant feed, you know, and you're just constantly dollar cost averaging in by paying your electric bill, you know. So that's a good way to look at it, and yeah, that was pretty smart. So yeah, I don't know, I can just sit here and talk about this kind of stuff all night, but let me see what y'all are chatting about over here. Yeah, exactly, Crypto Z. For sure. Yeah, I'm not trying to mine at a big loss. I would much rather just buy the crypto, but at this point, I'm just, as long as I'm even and maybe even a little bit in the hole, like for example, mining CCX right now is actually negative. So you are actually, let's go over here to, we'll look at the Dagobah rig. Okay, so calculate, this is my rig, 11 cents per, not my rig, but the co-owned rig, 11 cents per kilowatt hour. So let's find out where CCX falls on here. So we're actually losing 76 cents a day. So this is on the verge, in my opinion, this is definitely on the verge of, hey, probably turn the rig off, take the $60 a month, $70 a month that you're paying in electricity, and buy the coins. Just buy them outright, right? So it would make sense, you know. In my opinion, it's getting close. This is getting close. Now, then you got to factor in the whole altruistic aspect of mining, right? I like CCX. I like the project. So I want to support them. And how do I support them? They don't have staking or anything like that. So I can't just buy the coins to support them, right? Buying the coins is kind of not necessarily, you know, you're looking for the value to increase, and that's why you would do that, right? And now obviously it helps them a little bit because it takes some out of circulation and all that stuff. I get all that, but it's a small amount, right? So in order to support the network and keep the network going and secure and all that stuff, okay, fine, we're throwing our hash power at it and hoping for brighter days in the future, right? So yeah. YouTube watcher, what percent is your PSU? Like what percent is, in this rig I've got two PSUs. I've got a 1200 watt Corsair and an 850 watt Corsair. It's super low percentage on each one, the way that it works out. It's very efficient. that rig it has plenty of power. All right, so yeah, it's 10:30. I don't even know what else to talk about. I don't want to keep going too long. I want to get out of here, and I'll probably do a little bit of more prepping for the stream tomorrow. Yeah, they're both platinum. YouTube watcher. They're both platinums. I think. I don't know, man. I haven't looked at that rig in a while. It's right here, but I mean, I guess I could turn a light on and look. But I think they're both platinums. I was talking to Yashnik about it too, because you know I've been mining Aeon on it again for a week or so, maybe a little bit more, and I don't remember it running as cool as it's running right now. But you know what? That's a good point, because the last time I was running this, it only had one PSU, and it wasn't divided up the way it is now. So I don't know if maybe that has something to do with it, but it seems to be running super efficient, super cool. The GPUs are like really cool. I almost don't even know that it's even mining. I mean, you know how normally you can hear like the fans firing up and it's hot, you know, and you can feel it. I mean, it's not even like that at all. It's like super cool. It seems to be very, very, very efficient. No red numbers. What you mean, Crypto Z? What are we talking about? On the... over here? Is that what you're talking about? You're talking about the load average? I think it was you that always got onto me about my load average, right? I think that's right. If I remember right. It's been a while. Yeah, I think simple mining is the same way. I mean, simple mining, actually, it seems to be a little bit more accurate. Yeah, yeah, look. Load average, 1.4. That's not too bad, right? Yeah, this thing is like, I'm telling you, man, and I was talking to Yashnik about it. He's like, no, man, nothing's really changed. You know, the miner... Gminer versions have gotten higher, I guess. So there's probably some efficiencies in there, maybe even for, you know, the Equihash 2109 algo, maybe, I don't know. But it seems like it is so much more efficient. It's quiet, cool, not drawing a lot of power, you know, not hitting huge amounts of load average over here. There's just something that has changed since the last time I was mining Aeon steady. I mean, I know I've done a couple videos on mining it, you know, not too recently, but, you know, this year, a couple of them at least. So, yeah, it just seems, yeah, super efficient. I'm digging it. I like it. So let's look at simple mining and see if they're far off or not. So it looks like Mustafar is getting, it says 914 right here. 914 watts on Mustafar. So let's check that one out. So this is, come on, focus. Focus. Hang on a second. I'm gonna go into the camera properties and fix this real quick. All right, I think I got it. looks a little bit better. Okay, so this is Mustafar. See, Mustafar rig right there. Go into properties, and it says 853. So it says 853 here, and Simple Mining actually says 902. Right? See right here. So it's actually, Simple Mining is actually a little bit higher, which is cool. That's fine. Whatever. You know, I would rather it be higher than lower, I guess, right? Unless you're using it for calculating, you know, power usage for a month or whatever. You know, that wouldn't work out very well. All right. So, cool stuff. Yeah, YouTube watcher. I don't know how I got my load average down to 1.4. It used to always sit around 3.5. And CryptoZ used to give me crap about it all the time. So, I would just let it eat though, man. Just let it rock. It's good. All right, so that's going to do it for me. I will see you guys tomorrow night. I am planning, you know, I'm just kind of get all the content in my mind so that I can talk about it somewhat knowledgeable, you know, be somewhat knowledgeable about it, because it's a lot of stuff. So I want to have, you know, the content in my brain. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow should be good. Should be a good one. All Aeon, the new stuff. Probably talk about Unity. Yeah, it should be good. So tune in for that. I will see you guys tomorrow. Stay savage.